Hi guys, welcome back to this Moneycontrol live stream. You're watching Closing Bell with me, Nandita Khemka.
And I'm Yatin Mota.
Well, Yatin, we can see that Yatin is sporting a very casual look today. But let me remind you, it's 2 more days to go for Friday. It's just a Wednesday today.
But the Raksha Bandhan festivities are there, and clearly I thought that today I'll avoid a jacket and try and be in a simple shirt, probably to give viewers a different perspective and a different view.
But very happy Raksha Bandhan to you. But on that note, let's take a look at the markets. I think I'm wearing the color red, but thankfully we didn't close in the red. But we did shave off most of the gains, and the Nifty barely managed to end in the green territory. In fact, we shaved off nearly 100 points on the Nifty from the day's high, Yatin. During the midday chat, I was saying that the Nifty has managed to eke out good gains this week, and we had maintained a good run. But clearly, second half of the session saw most of the gains come off, and Nifty ending below that 19,400 mark. The culprit really was the Nifty Bank Index. I think 500 points off day's high. In fact, ending near day's low. But if you look at the broader end of the markets, Nifty Midcap Index and Smallcap indices, both of them managed to hit a fresh record high, and the Nifty Smallcap was up 1%, even though benchmarks have shaved off all the gains. Sectorally, as I was mentioning, Nifty Bank was under pressure. Oil and gas also index came under pressure. But what's doing well, Realty, metals, IT and autos, these were leading from the front. So if you look at some of the Nifty gainers, you have some metal names, auto names, so Tata Steel, Maruti, Eicher, M&M, Infosys, HCL Techs, all these stocks were the top gainers. On the losing end, you had BPCL. So OMCs had a down day today. So BPCL, HPCL, IOC, all of them down in trade. Power Grid, Dr. Reddy's, SBI, ICICI Bank and some of the private sector banks also under pressure. Yatin, obviously as I was mentioning, Midcap Index hit a fresh high today.
Absolutely.
Lots of movers there.
Yeah, and almost 1% higher for Small Cap Index and 0.7% higher for the Midcap Index. So despite the market volatility or up and down, we saw the Midcaps which were quite active in trade. Now, if you look at the Nifty 500, UFlex hit upper circuit, was up 20%. So was the case with Sterlite Technologies, Spark as well as Polyplex. So the packaging film companies, to be specific, Polyplex and UFlex, these stocks were doing well. What was not doing well is the likes of Indian Bank, South Indian Bank. All of the smaller and the mid-tier banks were not doing well. But if you look at the small cap index, we had BSC, that stock surged nearly 6%, Suzlon, Renuka Sugar, all of these stocks moving anywhere between 4 to 5%. But clearly today, Shakti Pumps, that stock was in focus after they announced an order of over 350 crores from the Haryana government renewable energy arm for solar pumps. And this order was much awaited in the marketplace, and more importantly, the company does expect a few more orders from the Maharashtra government as well as the Rajasthan government under the PM Kusum scheme, which basically is into the solar pumps for farmers. So that is one stock which was clearly under focus. And Nandita, some PSU banks here and there, but you look at stocks like Suzlon, BSC, Hutco, Kalyan Jewelers, all of them hitting fresh 52-week highs.
Right, lots of mid-caps flying high in today's session, but let's take a look at some of the stocks that are on our radar. On that note, I know banks did fizzle out, but one stock that's on my radar today is Axis Bank, because it did touch a fresh high in intraday trade, hit a fresh high of 998 or thereabouts. It has cooled off a bit, but did manage to end in the positive zone. So there's a Jefferies note on the stock that is pretty upbeat, given the fact that Jefferies hosted the CEO of Axis Bank for investor meetings in the US and released a report based on that, on the discussions it had with the management. So the bank has said that one of the key areas, focus areas, will be improvement in its funding mix through higher share in retail deposits, that your term and savings deposits. And there's a broader focus on improved customer experience, corporate salary accounts, as well as digital banking platforms. Now, Jefferies believes that this process of improving the funding mix will take somewhere around 18 to 24 months, and it will lower cost of funds as well. It believes that the improved funding mix could lead to improved margins as well as return on assets. Jefferies has said that the Axis Bank management believes that the credit growth in the banking system will grow somewhere around 12 to 13%, and the bank itself can continue to grow 4 to 5% higher than that rate, so somewhere around 16 to 17% range. Now, Jefferies expects the bank to deliver 16% compounded annual growth rate in terms of profit over FY23 to FY26, with return on equity at 18%. Now, Jeffrey says that the valuations at 18 times 12-month forward price to book looks attractive, and the stock is available at a discount when it compares to HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank, and offers a good entry point. So it has a buy rating on the stock and says that the target price could be somewhere around 1200 or thereabouts. Now this year, on a year-to-date basis, Axis Bank is up just about 5% or thereabouts. We know that obviously banking stocks have underperformed this year, but on if you look at 1 year basis, the stock is up over 30%. So this positive note coming out of Jeffries and the focus area of the bank looks like some good times ahead, and it's available at a discount to bigger peers. In fact, peers like ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank as well.
Absolutely, and this is one stock which hit a fresh 52-week high in trade today. It was looking strong versus other banks like HDFC Bank and Kotak Bank, which were underperforming the key benchmark indices today. But Nandita, a lot of block deals again in trade today, and again it is Zomato. That is one stock which is in focus. Stock hit a 100 rupee mark today. More importantly, today we had SoftBank's SVF, which is the Vision Fund, selling nearly 10 crore shares, which is almost 1.17% equity at a price of 94 rupees per share. So almost 940 crore worth of shares traded in the block window at 94 rupees, as I mentioned earlier. And the stock went up as high as 100 rupees. So very strong institutional demand is what we are looking at for Zomato. Most importantly, now the market has started valuing the business of Blinkit, which is the fast consumer brand delivery business. Most importantly, we had the report from HSBC, which puts a target of 120 rupees on Zomato, and they have revised the target price today from a level of 102 to 120. So that is one block deal I wanted to highlight. And the other one which I want to mention is regarding Spandana Spurti. Here also nearly 5.5% equity changed hands, worth nearly 275 crores. What we gather from sources is that Valiant Fund as well as the founder Padmaja Reddy might have sold stocks. So there are two sellers. Probably Valiant Fund sold more shares in the block deal, and domestic mutual funds are said to be buyers in trade. So this was another stock on the back of block deal which was buzzing in trade. Was down, but the deal happened at a 5% discount. The stock managed to recover somewhat from the day's low or the lows of the block deal.
All right, block deals continue, and of course, I want to highlight Zomato as a stock over the last 1 month is up 20%, and what do you say? The lock-in for the PE giants ended last week, right? Sequoia is left, so I guess I won't be surprised if they also look at selling stake via block deal soon. But the other stock on my list is Hero Motocorp. This stock was under pressure yesterday. It did launch Charisma XMR 210 to revive its premium portfolio. Remember, just a couple of months ago, it had launched Hero X440 as well in partnership with Harley. So there's a lot of competition brewing in the premium bike space, and we have a couple of brokerage notes coming in on Hero Motocorp. Mixed views rather. UBS in fact has a sell rating target price at 2,650. It believes that the launch has taken place to revive the premium portfolio, and it could add 1 to 2% to the overall EBITDA for Hero Motocorp. But it says that the investor optimism on new launches looks a little overdone at this current juncture. In fact, Goldman Sachs also has a sell rating on the stock, target price of 2,490 rupees or thereabouts. It believes that Charisma will be a favorable average selling price and margin product, but the brokerage is waiting to see how the volume contribution shapes up of this new launch and then take a call perhaps. And Citi on the other hand has a buy rating on the stock, target price at 3,600 rupees per share. It believes that the new launch, the latest launch, is a step in the right direction, and it will help revive the premiumization segment, and the pricing per se is at a slight premium versus competing models, in addition to X440 and Xtreme and X Plus and other premium models. But Hero Motocorp, of course, things will shape up as to how as and when you get as to volume details and on how these new launches are faring. That's what will really shape up the way forward for Hero Moto. But if you look at the stock, I think on a YTD basis, it has gained somewhere around 8% or thereabouts. But over the last 1 month or so, I think ever since the whole new launch scene and
Harley
launches started coming up, it has lost somewhere around 8 or 10% or thereabouts.
I think that this was more to do with the income tax and the ED issues, which the company was facing. Most importantly, Nandita, yes, as you mentioned rightly, that the Harley Davidson motorcycle which Hero Motocorp has co-developed at a very attractive price point. They've got the bookings and they've already shut the bookings.
Yeah.
And the new Charisma also can do well, especially when the festive season, starting the Navratris and the Ganesh Chaturthi, you know, a lot of bookings are expected in this particular segment. So let's see how the bookings shape up. But yes, the stock has been quite volatile in the last 1 month.
Well, that was about Hero Motocorp, but those were all the stocks on our radar this afternoon. So it's a good buy from me and Yatin. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below. And of course, come back and join us at 8:30 AM tomorrow morning in the pre-market show as well. But for now, it's a wrap. Thanks a lot for watching. Stay tuned to Moneycontrol for all your news and updates.
How do world leaders view India?
I've long believed that the relationship between the United States and India is will be one of the defining relationships of the 21st century.
The bright spot of the global economy.
The growth rate for India, which is 6.8 in 2022. Let's not forget, this is one of the bright spots in the global economy right now, such a high growth rate.
The potential of India is enormous, and you have now a reformer, a radical reformer, who has the ability to transform it.
On the verge of a big transformation.
इस अमृत काल में हमारे संकल्पों की सिद्धि हमें आजादी के 100 वर्ष तक ले जाएगी.
A magnet for investment.
I'm actually incredibly excited about the future of India. I think India has more promise than any large country in the world.
The world is bullish on India. Moneycontrol is bullish on India. Join the campaign. Tweet to us with hashtag MC Bullish on India.